In solo leveling, Sung Jin Woo started as one of the weakest E-rank hunters ever known, the weakest of the weakest. Yet, after the incident in the double dungeon, a seemingly magical program allowed Jinwoo another chance to live, this time as a player in the system. Of course, we know the system is what allowed Jinwoo the chance to level up with limitless potential, something no one else in the world could do. The system did this by giving Jinwoo quests to complete, allowing him to level up, unlock new skills, and even upgrade his stats and drift. Bro went from this to this. There is even a built-in store where Jinwoo could use currency collected to purchase items. One quest in particular, the job change quest Jinwoo received at level 40, gave him the opportunity to receive his most powerful ability, the necromancy class. With necromancy, which eventually evolved into the hidden class Shadow Lord, Jinwoo was able to quickly rise up the ranks of hunters, surpassing even the S ranks to be one of the select few nation level hunters in the world, and even that rank undersells how strong Jinwoo became. However, why did the system actually choose Jinwoo, and what are its origins? You see, the system was originally created by the architect. However, this was due to the request of Ashbourne, the original Shadow Monarch. In order to cross onto Earth, a sovereign needs a host body in order to handle their power. Due to his powers being far too great, he couldn't find any human suitable to be his host. Then that's where the architect came in. As one of the most capable of mages at the time, he came to Ashbourne with a proposal to find him a suitable human vessel. However, even with the system the architect designed, no living thing could contain death itself. The architect searched high and low for one talented and sensing magical power, someone with great physical strength and a great mentality, a human who could meet Ashbourne's power. It was not an easy search, but eventually he found someone. Of all the hunters in the world, Jinwoo was one of, if not the weakest. From the start, we learned Jinwoo was always getting hurt and had plenty of near-death experiences. He was even known as the world's weakest hunter, someone who can even get hurt in E-rank dungeons. Thankfully, the healer girl was usually there to help him recover. Someone like Jinwoo, who was always weak, always closest to death, always managed to evade death time and time again. Ashbourne watched Jinwoo, and you know what? It wasn't the system, or even the architect himself that chose Jinwoo. Even though the architect directly opposed it, Ashbourne himself chose Jinwoo, as someone who was always the closest to death than anyone else, yet someone who always survived. He could handle the power of death better than anyone else. As Ashbourne puts it, he is the record of Jinwoo's struggles, the evidence of his resistance, and the reward of his suffering and pain. Yet, there was still work needed to be done in order to refine Jinwoo's body enough to be able to handle Ashbourne's power. So what the architect did was use objects of human skill and preference to adjust Jinwoo to the strength of Ashbourne, games and recreation. By using those to fill Jinwoo's amusement, the architect's system, which actually used Ashbourne's power, transformed Jinwoo's body level by level to match Ashbourne's. That's why the system looks so similar to some type of game. Of course, this system was made for a purpose, and it did its best to achieve that. Like, it tried its best to keep him alive, however it could, automatically activating his passive skills when he needed them, and even warning him of any murderous intent displayed his way. However, this system was implemented for Ashbourne to reincarnate into Jinwoo's body and take over. That was the deal Ashbourne made with the architect, and why the architect invited Jinwoo back to the double dungeon once he reached level 100. He prepared for Ashbourne to take control of Jinwoo and arrive in the human world as part of their plan. Yet, Ashbourne ended up betraying the architect because he no longer wished to take control of Jinwoo and instead transfer his powers into him. In the end, Ashbourne locked the architect out of his system and left his black heart to Jinwoo. Then, when the Beast Monarch seemingly killed Jinwoo, Ashbourne revived Jinwoo using the black heart. This gave Jinwoo the full powers of the Shadow Monarch. Now that Jinwoo had the proper body to wield Ashbourne's power, the system had essentially served its purpose. With that, the system, which is actually called the Player Nurturing System, began to delete itself. This allowed all the power limits on Jinwoo to be removed, meaning all commander rank shadow soldiers like Igris were able to regain their full power. With Jinwoo having succeeded Ashbourne as the next Shadow Monarch, he could finally rest in the world of eternal void, and the system would be deleted. At least, it was deleted for a bit until an adult Jinwoo used the remnants of the architect in the domain of repose to recreate the system for his son to train in. But that's a story for another time. As for now, that's basically all there is to the system, which led Jinwoo to reaching his full potential. Honestly, looking at it overall, I can't really think of a better system for a Jinwoo to have used. What did y'all think of the system though? Could it have been improved or was it perfect? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching if you made it this far. I'll be making some more solo leveling videos too, so if you enjoyed this one and want to see some more, please drop a like and subscribe. Peace.